Welcome everyone to the Minions of the Zoo Tuesday edition. I'm your keeper this evening, Skep, Tock, and with me I have Minions Prospero
Hello.
and Adam, straight from
Hello.
Scotland.
Hello.
You know, does veggie refer to like being a vegetable, or like you're pro vegetable? Are you anti cruelty to vegetable, or what does Clan Veggie stand for?
It's a interesting tale, but
It
I don't know.
sounds like the
Maybe
name. It sounds like the name of a band.
it was.
Clan Veggie is going to be opening up for Slipknot.
Um, I'll share it if we have time at the end of the show. But
Okay.
the
Oh, it's one of those
the
mature themes. Sure, I understand.
well, no, it's one of the, it was a name given to me by someone, so I just kind of
Clan,
keep it
yes,
around.
yes, you are a Clan Veggie. I've been a member of Clan Veggie from time to time. Mashisu
Yeah.
is here. Hey, Mashisu, how you
Hey,
doing? Good to see you.
Mash.
Hey, Mesh.
Nice to see you. Nice to
Drop
see
that
you.
liquor.
And let's see who. Anyway, so I'm just going through my normal daily routine, and I noticed that Ben Shapiro has a headline up that basically says, if Trump doesn't screw up, he beats Joe Biden in the election. He's got a pretty good sized lead in the polls right now. He could, there's a part of me that wants him to win just for the sheer deliciousness of it. Just to watch the trebled screams. My concern is that he's really so far past his prime he could never be an effective president.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so up his own butt that tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not. I mean,
I think it gets in his way. I don't think he kind of has this.
it's always been his problem getting in his own way.
You are raw.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's who he is. He's an
Yep.
asshole. He's an effective asshole at times. But you
An
know,
effective asshole. How
well,
does that
yeah,
work?
no, I called him that back in 2012. I was trying to describe somebody. I was comparing someone, and I said, they're like Trump. They're an asshole, but they're an effective asshole.
Oh, I was thinking like, so he never had those shits where it just like burned so much, and
No,
you're like,
no,
oh my
yeah,
god.
no. I'm sure.
Right.
I'm sure that's happened to him too. He's human. He sits down to put his shoes on, but when he has to tie them, that is. But it's there's the charm of the assholeness, for want of a better term, because I really can't think of one.
Oh, hey Harry.
Is wearing off. Hey Harry.
Hey Harry.
You know what I'm saying? The bloom is off that rose.
Yeah, nobody's amused by Trump anymore, and the thing of it is, he's a sheltering vote. He's the run to shelter vote if you don't want to put a crazy senile guy back in the White House for 4 years.
Well, yes, and that's where I guess Shapiro is gleaning his, extrapolating his data, because you are likely to have a third party candidate.
Well, yeah, if Kennedy runs,
it's conceivable he runs, and Cornel West will peel off 5 votes.
I don't think Cornel West will have a significant percentage, but I actually think that Kennedy might. I think
Kennedy could have an impact.
5% of the vote.
He also could peel some of Trump's voters, believe it or not. Yeah, because they are not.
Rate is the key there.
Yes, but they're not. There's no ideological commitment.
Oh, absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I read an essay by somebody I follow on Facebook today, and they were talking about there's no room for traditional conservative Republicans and populists in the same party. They don't go well together. And that's part of what you're seeing with the fracturing of the Republican Party. You're seeing it to some extent. different characteristics in the Democratic Party. And I thought, yeah, but here's this person talking about fiscal conservatism in the Republican Party, and I was like, yeah, when? The contract with America might have been the last Congress critter gasp, and that was a handful of people.
Yeah.
Very much like the Freedom Caucus is. By and large, they're wholly owned subsidiaries of whatever, just like the Democrats are. And the last fiscally concerned president possibly was Reagan. He spoke the words, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna give you an unpopular opinion.
Yes.
Bill Clinton.
Yeah, after triangulation and the contract with America.
Right.
I think Bill Clinton sans Hillary hissing in his ear like the Amanant screed that she is.
Yeah, the term Prospero just used is
Richelieu.
and it means the eminent gray person, basically, like gray hair.
Richelieu to Louis.
Yeah, exactly. The Kissinger to Nixon.
Nixon.
Kind of,
except, my God, he wasn't enough of an Amanant scree in some regard, Kissinger.
What look what he was working with.
Yes, he was working with a
pains me to say that Richard Nixon was a supply corps officer in the Navy.
God damn it. Once upon a time, Richard Nixon. Great. But okay, let's, yeah, I can give Clinton some points for, I do think maybe without the influence.
He was kicking and screaming. I think he was kicking and screaming, but he knew it was the right thing to do, and you could kind of tell it when he talked about it. I thought, God, this guy is actually kind of on board.
He was more of a personal profligate than he was a political profligate.
Yeah. He had a little bit of old-style Democrat in him, too.
Yes, he did. Our old-style Arkansas Democrat, not...
Right. Exactly.
Well,
not what everybody's thinking.
Not the throwback to the 1950s Arkansas Democrat, but
right.
But the last genuinely, I think Reagan in his heart was a fiscal conservative, in practice. But the last one the Republican Party had seen before that was Eisenhower.
I respectfully disagree with you about Reagan. I think he believed in the greatness of America and that government was there to do good things for the right people.
California Republican?
Yeah, California Republican.
Well, that's, but he wasn't entirely Rockefeller. There were bits of Goldwater in him. That's why I'm saying possibly Reagan. Now, I'd say Eisenhower was closer. I mean, the last fiscally conservative candidate.
Help me with the term. Less majest. What does that mean?
Less majesty.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Oh God.
I can't remember what that means, but I think that's the term that
it's the beneficence of the majesty, if I recall.
Yeah, the offense or defamation against the dignity of a ruling head of state. So that's not it. That is a.
Well, are you talking about droit de seigneur? Well, no, not really.
not right of seniority. No. I'm having a senior moment in public. This is great.
Moving right along. I know what you're talking about. It's the king, the populism.
Yes, and he graciously lets the peasants have a few crumbs. That whole thing, I think that was going on there too.
Day old bread's not going to eat itself.
Harry, how you doing, bud?
Throw the day old bread at the peasants. That's like what you do. That's the noblesse oblige thing.
That's it.
Noblesse oblige. That's what I was trying to think of.
Thank
you. Less majestic. What is wrong with me?
I don't know. It's just French terms.
But
no, noblesse oblige. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's like getting a splinter out of your hand.
The nobles are obliged. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have bothered me. So Harry, what have you been doing for fun? You've been working hard, haven't you?
I have not been doing anything fun. I've been working hard.
Well,
It's all terribly boring.
and it is the work of the type where you're writing code, or is the work where you're managing creatures who write defective code?
I'm sort of doing prototyping and development.
Okay.
So there's some code, there's some documentation, there's a lot of schmoozing. There's, you know, some
Yeah.
people might like more than others.
You can tell you really like that schmoozing part.
I don't. I mean,
I know.
Myers-Briggs tests aside, I'm not really convinced about the E versus I thing, honestly.
No, but it's the having to explain things in a positive sales-like manner to C-levels.
Yeah, well, one of the things that I did have a meeting today where I was given a whole bunch of work. They said, "Oh, there's this new project, and they need this thing, and you can figure it out." And I just said, "I've actually already written a document that describes 90% of what they need to do." Really? Yeah. And then earlier in the day, some guy asked me a question, and it had to do with bandwidth delay products and latency and throughput on international network links and stuff. And I said, wrote a paper about that too. Would you like a copy of that? So twice today I got to tell somebody that I've already done a report for one thing and a paper for another thing describing the answer to a question I was asked. That's pretty satisfying. That's like, that must be what it's like in Hollywood when you get those residual checks. It's like get paid for work you've already done. It's like,
Cha-ching.
yes, please come to me, ask of me your questions, and I will bestow upon you documents.
Yeah, you got your own little Oracle of Delphi moment.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. But got about 4 hours sleep last night, worked all weekend.
You too.
Tried to overdo it, completely threw my right knee out of alignment, so I'm hobbling around like I'm about 40 years older than I am.
You programmed
But
so
I'm
hard
here.
you threw your knee out?
I made it. I made it to the show today, and everything is getting back to normal now. So those of you who've enjoyed my absence, I hate to break it to you, but it's over now. So you're stuck with me.
Something that I've been curious about, now that you've had it for a while, would you do the electrical thing that you did to your house, the solar thing, again?
Oh. Gosh. I don't know how generally interesting this is, so I'm going to give you the super short version. If you have the ability in a state like California, especially, to lock in your electric rates, anything you can do to just shave those, get you down a couple tiers in terms of the prices, it's stupid not to do it.
Yeah.
You can either do a little or you can do a lot. It's a Timex Rolex thing, right?
Right.
It's the in-between that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, right? Like, if you are going to need a new roof in 10 years, why on earth would you cover the whole thing in solar panels? That's just dumb.
So it's either pick the low-hanging fruit or just defenestrate the tree.
Or go completely...
defoliate the tree.
No, go big and back it up with storage. Because what's happening with the grid now is they really like it when you feed power into the grid from your own storage, which is expensive. So there are a number of test beds that are going on where you get between $1 and $2 a kilowatt hour if you feed power from your batteries back. They don't really if everybody's got a bunch of solar panels, right, and they're just churning out power at 2 p.m., but the peak time is from 4 to 9, the power's coming at the wrong time. So it's like, that's cute. So either, do what you need to do to get your own bill down cheaply, the best bang for the buck, or just go all out and get a bunch of solar panels and back it up with whole house storage, and then you have the satisfaction of knowing that, your power's not going out.
That's a nice thing. Do you think in the longest of long terms that we will go to locally generated power, home generated power? or that it would become a neighborhood kind of a thing?
Well, there is a movement, and there's a package called Homer, Homer, which is designed around how to do simulations of microgrids. So if you were thinking, well, what are the economics of this look like? You can use Homer, and Homer will let you simulate the economics and the power requirements and all that sort of stuff.
Boy, that's a lot easier
I'm
than
building me a pocket reactor.
Working out all the discounting equations myself.
I mean, in reality, the cheap thing where you just get put like 4 kilowatts of power on your roof, and that just cuts your bill way down, almost a no-brainer if you have sun exposure on part of your roof. For most people in most places that get sun, that's just the thing to do. I said, unless of course you're going to need a new roof sometime in the not too distant future. Those kinds of things set aside. But
we get new roofs about every 3 years.
In terms of like being a small power producer, I don't know. I think a lot of it depends on what ends up happening with energy storage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have my crystal ball polished up to the point where I can tell you what's going to happen.
No, I don't think anybody does.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving parts. I was just kind of curious. A guy came up the other day, just walked up to my house, knocked on the door, said, "Did you know you can have solar for no money out of your pocket? It's absolutely free." I said, "Really? That sounds almost too good to be true."
You could back it up with a reverse mortgage and have twice the fun.
Pardon me?
You could back it up with a reverse mortgage and have twice the fun, Skep.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. And so I said, so what you're implying with what you just said, I've only known you for 2 sentences. Of course, I talk to people like this. This guy is wondering if I'm some sort of murderer or something at this point. And I said, so what you've told me in about 1 sentence is that all I have to do is stand here and the power company is just going to ladle money into my bank account. Do you need my bank account number so you can start depositing? That sounds great. And if anybody needs to install anything on the roof, let me know. And he got mad. Can you believe that? A salesman got mad at me. I invited him to leave, and he did.
Well, I had an encounter with a salesperson like that, and that was a young guy, and he was working for a company called Sunrun. Now, Sunrun, their gimmick is they basically put their solar on your roof and then charge you for the power that comes off of your roof. So you don't own the solar equipment. It's parked on your roof. It's like, yeah, hello, Rube. That sounds great. So this guy came up to me, and he was young, and he knew he was selling snake oil. And
yeah,
he just looked at what I had set up and
wrong
said,
house.
Well, clearly there's nothing I can sell you. But I was just curious, could I ask you a few questions about your system?
Yeah, that's nice.
So I told him all about.
And then he asked if you knew any way he could get a job selling that system.
Yeah, I was telling him like how you want to change like electric water heaters, mm-hmm. and how it works with backup storage and inverters and a bunch of stuff. So I gave him like a little 20-minute free crash course on all the stuff that his employer should have taught him.
Interesting. That's
I mean, there's a lot of cool things. The little windmills are cool. If you ever decide to go RVing around the country, Skep, this mm-hmm. is where you're going to have to worry about this stuff on a smaller scale, because not everywhere you go has power. Mm-hmm. And I think you kind of like creature comforts that involve electricity, don't you?
Oh, my God,
So
yes.
you have to worry about, are you going to use a small generator? Are you going to set up some solar power, with some batteries? Are you going to get a little wind turbine?
Only go to campgrounds that have power.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that just means, that's all the fun of an electric car. It's like, well, I'm going to plan my trip around where I can plug stuff in.
Yeah, but, a lot of campgrounds have like half and half unpowered, half powered.
Actually, the campgrounds that I go to are much better than that. These Hilton campgrounds are great. They actually have rooms with showers in them, beds.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's my
it's
idea.
A real improvement over camping.
That's my idea of RVing, by the way.
Yes, yeah, me too.
I get in my car,
drive the RT to the hotel,
and I go to a house, and I go to another house of some kind, whether multifamily or single family.
I've
park my ass in it.
I've done all the roughing I need to do. I've done all the sailing over the bounding main I need to do. I like a nice, comfortable, warm room.
Yes.
Don't you want opportunities to use the word bivouac?
No,
bivouac.
If he had wanted to use the word bivouac, he would have joined the army and not the Navy.
That's a great word, though, isn't it?
It is. Yep. Bivouac.
Yeah. Yeah, these people these accelerationists who just want everything to come crumbling down. It's like, nah.
No.
You know, I have to use like the right kind of shampoo or my scalp starts itching in about 36 hours. It's like, no, I don't want civilization to fall apart. I like civilization just fine.
Yes.
Do you know where bivouac comes from? Comes from the 18th century Swiss German usage of Bewacht, which means watch, by watch, or by patrol.
Bewacht?
Yeah, that's what it comes from. Bewacht.
Oh,
Bivouac. Bewacht, 2 words.
Bewacht.
Or Bewacht, yeah.
Bewacht.
Yeah, that would be what I would estimate that is called. But it referred to an additional watch that would be maintained by a military or civilian force to increase vigilance at an encampment. So it's like an extra watch. And but when I first heard that word, I knew that it was had to be a French word years and years ago. And I used to hear the Army guys talking about bivvies. Have you ever heard the term bivvy? They're just
like bivvy sack and
No, my father referred to it as bivouac.
Bivouac, yeah.
So it's a Frenchified spelling of a German, a Frenchified spelling of a contraction of 2 German words.
But isn't a bivvy like a sleeping area, like a cot or a thing like that? They'll just refer to that individual one where they're nesting for the night is their bivvy.
Yeah, a bivsack is actually it's a kind of sleeping bag with some mesh, like in the chest area, that prevents the condensation from building up. Those are called bivy sacks, and like climbers use those.
Yeah, when you're out in the woods and you start getting sweaty, you can get cold, so you just need to get warmer.
Right.
Yeah, just seal up of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And but anyway, bivouac. Interesting term. Let's see.
There's far too much French in this stream tonight. That's all I'm
going to say. Count Henry Russell Killu, the Hermit of the Pyrenees, is broadly accredited with the invention of the bivouac in extreme, inhospitable places. He would bivouac in the open, creating a blanket of rocks and earth using a simple bag. Yeah, most of the
bivouac in the open, since to bivouac means without cover, basically to camp without tent or cover.
Well, if it's not raining, if it's not super windy, it's pretty easy to sort of make a camp. The main thing you need to do is make sure that the heat from the fire reflects where it's supposed to go and the smoke from the fire goes where it's supposed to go. If you can manage those 2 things, you're 90% of the way there.
And I'll bet you know how to make a heat reflection wall, don't you, Harry?
I know which kind of rocks not to use too.
Right. Exactly. God, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's like if you get some kinds of rocks hot enough, they will just explode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, sedimentary rock is not the right kind of rock.
No, sedimentary rock is the wrong kind, and you want to get something that will retain heat for a long time. Take a long any rock that is probably the coolest around the campfire. Put that in the middle of the campfire. Get it sooty and everything. Put something over it later. and that'll be the slowest radiator of heat. It takes longer to heat them up too. So
yeah,
different
vents.
rocks, different rocks let out their heat at different rates, and it's an interesting. It's the difference between rocks can be profound. I haven't experimented much with that, but Scoutmaster told me about that one time.
So what'd you end up doing on the Saturday show? I saw that there were some people there, but I was like too busy to even put a comment in the chat. What did you guys talk about?
We were just talking about this and that, just
stuff and things.
Stuff and things. Just okay. What was your day like? You know, the usual stuff. You know, the philosophy of my show is a little bit different. It's kind of evolved, and that is that I always thought it was entertaining enough to just listen to intelligent, well-motivated people who like each other talk together. That could provide entertainment. That's the basis for the show. I started out doing much more of a topic type show, but over time, I found that the natural path of the show, or that it wanders, tends to just fall into personal conversation, and the people who are on the show are interesting enough. They're worth listening to, just to hear those people talk. And I always wanted to see if that would attract many viewers. And we have a small but extremely loyal following. I'm very, very happy with the way the show is going, but it's not for everybody. That's for sure. I mean, not everybody wants to talk about bivouac or whatever happens to come to mind. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I told Prospero about my lousy day today, which I'm not going to bother the rest of you with. I've been feeling lousy. Make a long story short, and but anyway, we haven't heard much from Adam. Adam, what are you doing? What are you thinking about today? Adam, wake up.
Yo.
What are you thinking about today? What are you doing today?
What am I thinking about today?
Yeah. The Roman Empire.
He's thinking about the Roman Empire.
Stout fellow that Adam is, yes.
Well, there might be some truth to that, to a degree, but no, I'm playing with some new tech, setting some gear up, so I'm having fun with that.
What kind of tech? Anything fun?
I don't want to get into it.
Okay. So it's like a lawnmower or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Set up a lawnmower.
Chippy the wood chipper.
Mm-hmm.
Got some pedos in the neighborhood.
I thought you said got some Betos in the neighborhood, like Mr. Mr.
Beto O'Rourke.
And then I thought, well, same difference.
Pedo O'Rourke. Beto. I don't know what is he has some sort of semi
Robert Francis, I believe, is his gift.
Yeah, but he has a semi Hispanic, quasi Hispanic nickname like Beta or Beto or something. Beto.
Yeah, it's some play on Roberto.
Are you kidding?
Probably. That's the only thing I can come up with.
It's like slang.
And like Pedro would be some play on Pedro.
Mm-hmm. At least that's what they're going for, I think.
Yeah, Roberto. It could be somebody, he couldn't say Roberto, and it came out Beto, and that stuck somehow.
Okay, all right. Beto O'Rourke's full name is Robert Francis O'Rourke, but his family and friends have always called him Shithead. The common word for shithead in Portuguese is Beto, so that's what it is.
So it's Portuguese for Fredo?
Yeah.
Yes. They knew he was Fredo from the moment he was born.
Yep.
See, you learn something new every day.
Oh, God. These people.
But no, I was just listening to what you guys were talking about. So I mean, I really didn't have.
Good, there'll be a quiz.
Oh shit!
The family has deep roots in El Paso, And Beto is a common shortening of the name Roberto or Robert. And me living in Texas for almost 70 years, I've never heard of that. Never heard of that. In all the anthropological rooting around that I have done, I have never heard Beto being a common
yes
shortening like Bob or Beto. They're both equally common.
yeah
They're equally common.
well,
Beto
Roberto,
and Bob.
I could see Berto being used, you know, but I didn't know whole letters were being dropped in El Paso. Then we can just go back to calling it El Paso.
I mean, he was a weirdo guy, anyways. But
Skep. I dated the daughter of the mayor of El Paso.
That's El Paso. Remember, we're dropping letters.
Skep. Spud Gun requests that you check your DMs.
Oh, I shall. Spud, you want in?
I need to speak to the bananager. Oh my god.
That's a quality meme right there.
I hope that's chocolate on that banana.
Come join, bud.
I read a recipe. Well, I mean, actually, a blurb about a dish that was created in Great Britain. That's it's a combination of toffee and banana.
Banoffee.
Yeah, the banoffee
pie is.
The banoffee
oh no.
pie.
You know what? And if you don't accept the central bank's monetary values, you're going to get banofied.
Bananager.
Have you ever had it, Carrie?
Oh, God.
Banoffee. Got the strips of cardboard.
Oh, stop.
I need that in my life.
Oh my God.
Send that to
Get
me.
in my library.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
I'll send that to you now.
Thank you.
That is funny. Oh, that is funny.
Oh,
Gaza strips.
That's just...
Yep.
Gaza strips. That is just some kind of wonderful. That is a bombardment of flavor, and the kef on the colonel. The colonel and his cafe. And it's just too good.
Yeah.
Those of us who know what that situation, who have looked into that situation, Gaza just will piss you off. That there has been so much money embezzled from the countries of the world by the now billionaires in charge of the Gaza Strip. You made a bunch of people billionaires, and the people are not doing any better. Nobody's doing well in Gaza. There are a few at the top doing very well, and not a very big middle class, and they're slowly dying, basically, in Gaza. Fucking Gaza. Ah, Jesus. It is such a bad situation.
Yeah, and on the other side of that wall, they've got people who are, Arabs and Jews actually getting along pretty well for the most part.
Really, truly. And the thing is, that was offered to them not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times. Wait for it. Not 5 times, not 6 times, but 7 times.
Nice.
They have been offered peace, and they said, "Fuck you, get the Jews out of Israel, and then we'll agree to take the land."
Potato boomsticks.
Hard to get.
Waiting.
Oh yeah. Oh, God. He comes in the. Yeah, I don't see that.
Second, and Jenna is asking if she can join.
Yeah, I already sent her the link. I sent you the link, Jenna.
Howdy
That's the link that I sent you.
Howdy doody.
How you doing, Spud? Nice to see you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to see you lot as well, lady and gentlemen. And Skep, of course.
Jenna's going to be here?
Yeah,
Well-
I sent her the link. She
Okay, I'm ready.
just may not know this.
Yeah, and I just messaged her.
Yeah, she's got the link.
Yeah, but I'm
God,
very
that's
well,
funny.
and
God, that is funny.
as
What's
well
up, Spud?
as the Roman Empire, I've also been thinking about World War One as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Think
Right.
about digging some trenches?
No, it's more the it's more the political machinations that went on, because
Oh,
basically
the dominoes?
He's
World
been
War
giving
One.
he's been giving it some thought.
Lol.
Oh, get out.
S-O-M-M-E thought.
Oh,
That's low.
that was
Hey,
a dad
Pat,
joke and
nice
a
to see you,
half.
bud. let's say hello to. Yes, come join, Jenna. The link is in your Discord
Pat,
DMs.
hey,
Let's say
Shroom.
yeah. Hey, Pat, Shroom is here. Spud Gun, of course, came on up. Pat, you're welcome on the show anytime. Just let me know. I'll send you the link. Badger's here. Lisa.
Howdy.
Let's see who all.
Yeah.
Joel, Mash, got the whole gang here. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Assassin's here, and the whole group is here. Yes, please come join, Jenna.
Talik's here as
You have the
well.
link. I sent it.
It's a Christmas miracle.
So so what is this?
Right, can I give you my hot take on World War One?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody
Too soon.
actually liked Franz Ferdinand. The whole reason that everybody kicked off after he got killed was it was an excuse. Ferdinand wasn't even liked by the Austro-Hungarians, let alone anybody else. It was basically an excuse. There you go.
Yeah. Then as now, all of those people in that area hated all of the other people in that
Well,
area.
yeah.
It's
No.
business as usual, basically.
And technically, a Serb, no doubt in the pay of the Russians, offing the last of the glorious Habsburgs.
You think Putin did that too?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Dude, yeah. He invented a time machine. He went right back there. And he didn't use the pistol, but he was the one who set off the grenades to lead the car into the different area.
Harry, that is chilling.
Yeah, it is.
I'm telling you, man.
It looks like it's about to strike.
I know, doesn't it?
Here, I'll fix it.
I wonder if it is.
No!
Yeah, pretty much.
So they call you a piker.
Yeah.
Why do they call you that?
Yikes. Yeah, and it's just like so many people wouldn't die without that boomsticks. Show them that.
Well, look, he didn't have any armor plating on his ass. So, obviously.
That's what
Yeah,
happens. His skirt was too short.
Yeah.
You know what they don't tell you.
What were you wearing?
About is that people used to go into the medieval fights with their swords, for example, covered in poo.
Yes.
Because it was more effective in killing the bad guys. The
the
crazy
infection
people.
would kill you?
Oh yeah, it absolutely would. Those people had no defense. They get a bad staph infection, they're dead. They died. That was what happened.
Not enough honey in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Once you get a systemic effect. Hey, John, I go
Sepsis. I love that. I love that one.
Yeah. Well, it's like the old joke. Why are wedding dresses white?
Why?
So she matches the kitchen appliances.
Goodness gracious.
Thank you.
Goodness gracious.
And suddenly, a wild Jenna appeared. Hello, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
Seems like it's been a minute. Nice to
I
have
feel
you
like
with
it's been forever. Can you hear me okay? And
Yes, we can.
do I
Yes, we can.
sound all right? Because I have my phone and my Raycons.
You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. You're absolutely fine. Well, how's your day been? How you been doing?
I'm glad the first month of school
It's over.
is over because it exhausted me.
I hear
And
you.
yes, I said exhausted it on purpose.
Oh, yes, double past tense with all the kids that you have in school.
Yeah, geez.
And
Yeah,
this
'cause-
year,
Sorry.
go ahead. I was just saying this year they're back to going to school in a actual, they're not home,
No.
See,
which has been more stressful.
I've only got 5 grandkids to worry about, so I'm not even primary on those. I don't see how you do it, Jenna. You get a lot of help from the kids, though, don't you? The kids themselves.
How do you mean?
Well, some of your kids are old enough to drive, right?
Yes. Well, I have
that's a big
2
help.
married kids.
Yeah, and I've got a couple who are just 16, but they can drive the others around.
Yeah, that's actually something we. Okay, so James and I are very big on not parentifying our children because, well, I don't believe in it and the situations they come from. So it's very important that we parent and do, but we're also not stupid. If we have a driver, yeah, you're going to be driving. You go to the same school building. You can drive them.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since I can't drive.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
Yeah, that's not parentifying though. It's like, what's it? Me elder sister used to walk us to school because the schools were like 5 minutes walk apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just being an older sibling.
Yeah. And it also does teach responsibility, you know. You have to keep this child alive while they're with you.
To be fair, depending. I mean, you haven't met my big sister. I mean, the fact that I didn't end up dead because I was a little shit.
She tried to push you into traffic a couple times.
She probably walked on the outside of the sidewalk just to avoid the temptation.
No, she did that because I was an idiot.
Yes, who would dart into traffic.
That's interesting. You just remind me of something, Prospero. Have you ever heard of guys being trained back in the old days to walk on the street side?
Yes.
So that they got splashed instead of the lady, right?
Right. It's the old Gardy Lou.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. But
yes,
yeah, that's
but it's the carriages going past and kicking
hold on.
all the puddles and car puddles and streetcar puddles, and I mean it progressed through time. It wasn't by and large. Piss cans were not pitched out of the front windows; they were tossed in a cesspit in the back.
Yeah,
that was kind of a silly. Gardy Lou, but it was mainly because the streets were dirty, and if it were raining or if there were standing puddles or whatnot, and also any like a runaway carriage or a runaway horse, you could see the danger.
It happened.
Oh, indeed it did. Cart horses would get spooked and bolt.
See, you're all putting way too much sort of chivalric behavior on it. It wasn't. It was so we could spit in the gutter.
I guess that makes sense too.
Oh yeah. That was a side benefit.
Look, we're Americans, so
When
we're
you
gonna be
were-
sitting there puffing
when
our
you were in
chests out,
short
anyways.
pants, when you were in
Actually-
short pants and you were taught to do that, you weren't yet spitting in the gutter.
For some
Actually,
reason,
I-
I was thought it was so that way in case like a car is veering off, you can
Right.
you know.
That's
well,
what I thought too.
James still walks on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're walking on the sidewalk, or he still opens doors for me and stuff though, and I know that's me being a weak woman, but
Well, I mean,
I enjoy having.
I'm sure you've gotten in the car on your
Yeah,
own.
you's a weak woman.
I
'cause
have.
You can't open the door.
But when there's an opportunity to open a door for somebody, there's no harm, no foul.
I'd open doors for anybody. Why? It's a polite
Yes.
thing to do.
It is the
Well,
polite
yeah.
thing to do, and when the feminazis got their little knickers in a bunch and started acting like it was some kind of Neanderthal bullshit that men were doing rather than just civility and decency. Thanks for ruining pleasantries. I mean,
a nice little bit of politeness and kindness that
yes,
could
and
show each
Chivalrous,
other
being
as a
chivalrous,
custom.
yeah.
No, you can't have that.
No.
This is
Well,
why you can't have nice things.
Well, here's the weird thing. Because I even heard it on a very simple part of it where it's like just seeing someone smile. You smiling is gonna up your happiness. Seeing somebody smile is gonna up your happiness.
yes,
Just these little things where little acts of kindness, it goes a long way. I mean,
it does.
you may not think it, and the person who experiences, that somebody held the door open, they may not, it may not trigger right then and there, but it will hit them eventually, and that's my logic on it.
What's interesting is I think if you're raised with the concept of certain things being the civil thing to do, like holding a door for someone behind you or that kind of thing, there's a feedback rush that you get for doing the right thing. When you hold the door open and someone says thank you and smiles at you, you get the boost from the smile and, hey, I did something positive. I don't think it's necessarily in our thought process, but I think those accrue across the course of the day.
No, not that. I'm talking about the other person.
Yes.
If I'm walking up and somebody holds the door open for me, it's like, oh, hey,
That's
thank you.
really nice. Thank you.
Yeah. And whenever
My
I
mother
know
used to thank people for letting doors close in her face too.
whenever I'm out for a walk or anything, and I see someone I always smile and wave. And if I have to be like near them, I'll say, "How you doing?" And sometimes,
Morning, all right.
Good morning.
yeah.
Hi there.
Right.
It is mood elevating to interact with people.
Yeah.
I will tell you,
every now and then.
Usually.
I have smiled to people that have looked at me like I had 10 heads.
Yes, I have to. Those are the people. It's funny because Skep and I have spoken about this. I know our tendency to have not met strangers, like in grocery lines. Now the devil gets in me.
I've never met a stranger.
The devil gets in me because I'll speak to somebody and they look at me like, oh dear God, like I'm going to give them fleas.
She's one of those.
Yes.
And that just makes you enjoy it.
I just dig in and keep talking.
Lean on in.
Yeah, it's like, hi, how you doing? Isn't it interesting? Blah blah blah. I mean, it's just like, by God, I don't care if you think I'm an idiot because you're a rude, unpleasant fuck.
And when you start a sentence with, I remember one time, and you see the hope vanish from their eyes. Yes, that's a special moment for me.
Yeah, it's just, and the thing is sometimes you can surprise them by saying, I remember one time. And it's like that's
this once.
Good. at least I know when I hear that phrase to just walk away.
Yeah, there is that. How we do go on, but
There
no,
you go.
part of it has to do with it. I think happiness is very much a choice.
Oh,
The day-to-day operational happiness. It's not a constant state of being, but
yes,
you can choose very easy. The default slide can be misery very, very quickly.
I heard something similar because for some reason, I'm sorry, all the whistling with my S's, but I heard something similar when I had a weird binge recently of watching these just pro clips. I guess I got suckered into the hey, don't you guys see that she's just doing she's luring you in with these hot takes, and I'm like, okay, well, what are these hot takes? And yeah, I just been
yourself lured.
Boom, caught. But yeah, somebody said something like that where it was like happiness is, and I keep stopping myself from saying it's a warm gun.
Yeah.
Cancels.
Happiness. Yeah, they said something like where it was like you can control it or something like that, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know. Personally, I've had instances where I can just have a random image pop in my head. I can have a random feeling, and it's pure dopamine, right? It's wonderful feeling, and I can't even explain it. I'll be at work and it just boom. So I don't know. But again, I also take medication, so I can't really
rule that out.
Yeah.
But it's...
So happiness is like a drug. It gives you that.
yeah.
It gives you that.
Dopamine.
It does give you the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Your brain goes, hey, have a little bit of happy.
Yeah, and
Thank you, brain.
Is that wrong?
I'm not trying to be a Pollyanna by suggesting that you can happy your way out of tragedies or sadness. But
oh no, I believe me. Oh wait,
Barry.
what? Sometimes oh,
I don't fuck them. That's what happens.
They're gone.
Yeah.
Or at least they're at their destination.
I get a thank you note from the bear every Christmas. So.
There you go.
A bear or a bear?
That's a quality joke,
Bear.
Prospero. That did not get near the laugh it should have. That was a good joke.
No,
that was quality. Yeah, I heard you get it. I noticed you got it. Nobody else got it.
It's the only thing I had to go with that.
That's outstanding. That's a good linkage. Good quality long link joke.
Oh, that is marvelous, Harry.
Yes, I love that too.
Did you hear? She's running again because we need her. No, we don't need her.
Oh, Hillary.
Again?
Of course, it does beg the question: whose nuts are those?
Oh, stop!
Feeding the nuts to the children.
Yes. That's...
My God, there are women who dress like that.
I know there are, and it's tragic.
She coughs and someone's losing an eye.
You got that right.
Actually,
Harry, please send me that. The sometimes I wonder. I don't need to see Nancy.
Wait, you want the boob picture?
I'm not showing
Boobs
you.
are awesome.
Oh shit! Hey, I remember this from Ghostbusters.
God.
You can keep the $5, pal.
The Amazing Kreskin.
Yep.
I had that game.
What game?
You guys don't have psychic powers?
That Kreskin ESP game that came out in the 60s.
I managed to avoid that.
That's okay. I managed to avoid Ouija boards, so I felt like I had accomplished something.
Dodged a bullet, dodged a Ouija.
Yeah, you know what I bought? You know what I bought the other day?
What?
I literally went on Amazon. Literally being properly used, children. And purchased a copy of Tripoli. Do you remember the game Tripoli?
Yes, yes.
Poker and Michigan rummy mixed up. Yep, it's still available. A Parcheesi board and a traditional old cover, original box style Yahtzee.
Tripoli's a great game. We used to play that as a family when I was a kid.
Yep.
Really?
And I was very young. I was probably like 6, 5, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I kid you not, at the beginning of it, you basically do like a shorthand of poker before you get into everything else. I kid you not, I drew a royal flush in spades. And here I was being like this 5, 6-year-old kid with this big shit-eating grin on my face. It's like, what's the point?
I win.
Well, but you can't sucker anybody into betting. And
yeah,
it's pretty meager pot.
Yeah.
And we'd usually start with like a stake of like $2. And, we would play as a family. And at the end of the whole thing, you might have $3, you might have $1. No big deal.
Yeah, we used poker chips.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah.
One thing about flushes of any
playing it as a kid.
Flushes of any kind. I know Harry knows this. Flushes of any kind indicate you may have a pretty chunky distribution amongst the cards. Other people may have flushes too.
Yes.
And not all flushes are equal. Just saying.
Well, that's why the ranking of
flushes aren't that hard to get. People tend to overvalue.
Straights are harder than flushes.
Yeah, but this was a royal flush, and
a royal flush is a different story.
Was the odds of this are astronomically low. Why is this being wasted upon me as a young kid?
Or a royal straight flush.
Game? How about when I'm 30 and if I'm in Vegas? That's when I need this.
Yeah,
I don't.
And Loki just laughed at you.
That happened to a friend of ours. Somebody Cree worked with, his former manager. It was like Caribbean poker.
Yeah.
And she was dealt the royal flush. Mm-hmm. And you lose the hand if you pick your cards up off the table. So her SO was with her and threw his arm over top of hers the minute he saw her cards. And she doesn't swear. She said, all I remember doing was sitting there going, oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. She couldn't believe it. She won $50,000
Nice.
on a $5 bet. Needless to say, every time they went to Vegas for about 5 years, they were comped rooms. And
they want to get their money back.
Yes.
If you ever win big at a Vegas casino, you will be invited back. Believe me.
Oh, absolutely.
They will.
Really?
They will. They will fly you in a private jet if you're a big enough whale. They absolutely do that.
So, say you go to the casino and you have a $500 budget. Mm-hmm. Is there any chance out of that $500 you could win big?
No.
My friend did. My friend did, but that was technically no. The odds are stacked way against you.
Yeah, your odds are better, of winning in Vegas are, the same as investing in the lottery.
Yeah, there are certain games you'd never bother with in Vegas. Ever,
what ones are those?
Ever.
All of them for most people.
Roulette.
There are a few that really, really on top people can
never
at least make it
roulette.
Competitive.
Okay.
Just because James Bond played Baccarat does not mean that you need to play Baccarat.
No.
Baccarat is
Baccarat.
Just take
nothing
my money.
With a giant wheel. No
the easiest way to gamble.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The easiest way to gamble for a certain length of time, just to have the experience, is multi-deck blackjack and craps. As long as you follow the advice on craps.
Craps, you can take people's money on side bets. That's the thing.
I don't even know how to play craps.
If you're a statistician, you can find suckers around the craps table who'll make bad bets with you. That's the only way I know to make money in craps.
Is that the one where you throw the die?
Yeah,
and
dice.
You land on a die.
Dice.
Oh, you throw 2 of them.
Yeah, you throw dice. It's much more complicated. It would take a while to explain it.
It has lots and lots of rules that disguise the fact that you
play
don't
the
have
exterior.
A chance.
You play the exterior of the craps table, Skep. That's the only way to stay alive for any length of time.
Okay.
You don't play the interior.
All right.
Basically, you want to roll 7s.
Well, basically, you don't want to if you're. I mean, yeah, it would take a while. Blackjack, as long as you learn what to do with what the dealer's showing.
Yep.
On your 12s, 13s, and 14s, when you're dealt those, you can stay alive playing blackjack for a while.
I'll have you know, I am pretty good at blackjack. I beat my kids all the time.
Right, but you've got to know if
phrasing, Jenna.
Right, if the deal. Well, no, that's okay. It was Talk Like a Pirate Day last week, so we're good. The beatings will continue until morale improves.
I want to make a comment about Harry's current thing. What the fuck is security? How to ignore it and deliver your project.
The Badger.
At a certain one of the largest banks in the United States, in Cleveland, Ohio, I was in receipt of a new project manager. I was technical lead on a multi-million-dollar, multi-year project. I was the technical lead on it. And I had a project manager that instructed me. I had a copy of the security database to give a physical copy of the database to the rest of the project team members so they would have all of the production passwords into this system we were putting online for, it was actually for National City Bank. And I told her that wouldn't serve any purpose. All but about 2 people wouldn't even know what to do with that. And it would represent a huge security problem. You'd have to change all those, afterwards and so forth. And she was absolutely would not come off of it. And that was one of the only humongous pissing contests I ever had at Lucent. And they put her on an airplane, flew her back to New Jersey, got her story. And you know what they did? They fired her.
As they should.
They fired her.
What?
They fired her for basically for pushing me around. They fired her because I complained. Mostly, I guess, but you walk into, people think that system administrators want to have all the passwords. For my part, I didn't want your goddamn password. I wanted you to enter your fucking password so I wouldn't be responsible for it. All that stuff represents a liability. It's one I would rather not have. In point of fact, people who know what they're doing don't want your password unless they need it. I don't know if that's what you found, Harry.
I don't want people's password.
Fuck no.
Harry, please send me that photo.
I already have.
Just do it again.
How is that?
Please.
Why is that little hippopotamus holding that big one down?
Yeah, that's kind of rude. And also, can I have your password?
Well, we used to call that face sitting.
Adam, my password is 111122223333 FU.
Okay, now is that for Netflix or
everything?
Oh, for everything. Really? You use the same password for everything? That's that's a security hazard.
That's security you can depend on.
Yeah.
Yep.
You should change them out.
And it's an F, and then a U.
Hold on, actually, as I'm writing this down, is it an uppercase F and U, or is it like?
No, it's a lowercase F, but an uppercase U.
Oh,
Adam,
okay.
she's kidding you. She's not really giving you her password.
Also, it's the money symbol, but you have to put it in between the fourth one, and then you put it again in between the second, third.
Okay, why are we going into this, Jenna? Why are we discussing this at this level of detail? That's what I would like to know.
Because, dude, it's an encrypted.
It's humorous.
You're not making any more sense than she is.
I know. It's a good.
I just wanted to see.
Out.
Are there any grown-ups on the stream?
I wanted to see how far I could get with the thing that is.
That's not fair to do that to Adam.
First off,
he's a trusting lad. He's a trusting
But I would.
lad.
I just was doing it to the rest of you too.
You know, I would have played right along with it, and we could have kept
going
for the rest of the.
It could have been just Adam and I discussing.
Okay. Now,
how one time in the middle you just write the word one instead of the 111. You write one in the middle too. You know.
I would get sound effects so you'd hear a beeping. What's that beeping mean? Oh shit! What I unlock?
Take a high-class fertilizer and add to it radium element in just the right proportion, and you have the ideal plant food. No, you don't.
It's got what plants crave.
Wow. When is that from?
My screen's behind. That's why I'm thinking what happened to Skep. Okay.
25-pound can was $3.
Let's look at a periodic table just for a quick minute.
Oh my God! Turkey dinner.
Harry, is that jellied?
Yes.
This? Yeah.
Oh my God! I remember those cakes.
You know what radium is in the same chemical class with? Magnesium.
Oh,
nice.
That's fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, if you ate salad that had been grown with radium in it, that radium would act like magnesium, and it's got a lot more atomic mass. I think it would play merry hell with some of the compounds in your body. I think you should not eat radium, is what I'm saying. I think it's a really bad idea.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Well, look at what happened with the Radium Girls.
Yeah, the Radium Girls.
You know, they had they'd lose the teeth, the jaws would rot off, face cancer, bone cancer.
Wait, who are the Radium Girls?
The Radium Girls were the girls who used radium insinuated paint.
Yeah.
It's radium. The radium is it's inside the paint, and they would wet these little tiny artist brushes with their tongues, then dip it in the radium paint and paint the dials of watches so that they would glow in the dark. Then they would touch the brush back to their tongue with the radium on it, and they irradiated themselves. And of course, they had horrible radiation burns and complications from that. Those were the Radium Girls.
Wasn't this in Elgin, Illinois?
Could have been. There were Radium Girls everywhere. Everywhere where watch dials got painted, there were Radium Girls.
I just remember there was
Orange, New Jersey, one in Ottawa, Illinois, and one in Waterbury.
Fine timepieces are
Ottawa.
sold. Is that what you said, Harry?
Yeah, wherever fine timepieces are made.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Just look at the girls with the chipmunk cheeks.
Yeah, when you see a lot of them walking around.
Yeah.
Go find you a watch.
It was really tragic. yeah, radium, ingesting radium is just a bad idea. And we here at Minions of the Zoo do not recommend that you ingest radium ever, not even on an irregular basis. Just don't do it.
Unless you really want some chipmunk cheeks.
Fossy jaw is what they suffer from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically where the jaw crumbles, isn't it?
Yeah, it happened with match companies also.
Yeah.
From the phosphorus.
Oh, phosphorus necrosis.
Yeah, phosphorus necrosis.
Fossy jaw. Yeah.
Oh, good God. Right. I didn't realize they worked with what you in the military you'd call Willie Pete, known to everybody else as white phosphorus.
Yep.
Oh.
Willie Pete?
Willie Pete. That's really what it's called. Yeah, when you get a requisition, like for armament,
you're good for Willie Pete.
That's the only place where it's called white phosphorus. It's on the side of the box. Everybody else calls it Willie Pete.
Yeah, well, I mean, jig is up. Everybody knows Willie Pete's white phosphorus. So poor old Willie Pete going out there trying to earn a living. What the fuck is Batman doing?
You can make white phosphorus. You can make white phosphorus from the red phosphorus in a match striker. If you have an old style match striker, you can recover the red phosphorus, and I can show you how to make white phosphorus out of that if you ever want to. Come on over and do it.
All right.
Be fun.
Harry?
Yes, sir.
What?
What is this?
Sharpener. Batman's there. He wants to sharpen your pencil.
Have you seen the gay version of this?
That is the gay
version of it, you mean?
Yeah.
Spud, will you say Harry again?
What? Who? Gilbert Atomic Energy. Yeah,
that's given to her request. She's not the boss of you.
Watch atomic disintegration of radioactive material right before your eyes, like you do every single day when you open your eyes. Okay. See past 8. Oh, this is one of those little smoke chamber things.
Cloud chamber.
Right. Who do you want to say Harry again?
I have a thing for British accents.
Don't you get enough of that
Harry.
at home?
Yeah, really.
Seriously.
Yeah, I've got a crap accent
yes, but
of where I was brought up.
You can never have too much.
Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. That's just not the way to say Merry Christmas.
If you have any other requests for words you'd like me to say, just let me
stop
know.
it. Stop.
Just tell her
what happened to Pink Popcorn Boy? Was he irradiated? Is that a human that was irradiated?
I think he got too much radium fertilizer.
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen those the fat cells in a microscope?
Yes, I have.
It looks like that. A bunch of fat cells.
If you're looking at fatty tissue, it does look like that. Yeah.
But why is he pink?
Kind of
it just
like chicken fat.
Food dye.
It just says popcorn.
Chicken fat, yeah, chicken fat.
Marshmallows.
Yeah, it's got that yellowy look to it.
Yeah. Here's a hot chick for you, Adam.
That's a sad chick.
What the hell is that?
Tell my kids have been doing science experiments.
Is he smoking?
What the?
I'm not a fan of smokers, dude.
Very French.
It's Big Bird's mommy. It's Big Bird's mommy. Now maybe that thing can go home and leave us all alone.
I would be afraid that he would set that costume on fire and he'd burn up.
Well, it says the bird girl, so I'm not sure what's going on in this picture.
I'm sticking to Big Bird's mommy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is Prospero there?
That's definitely a girl. But I can't tell much more than that.
Yeah,
no,
and
I
level
think
of weird, it's pretty academic.
Yeah.
You wonder where that was taken. What was the scenario? What was the situation?
Yeah. Some French thing, probably.
Oh.
Yeah.
Prospero's backstage.
Oh, Prospero got.
Did she get yeeted?
Let me get her back online. There we go.
You know, this is just weird moment of, but I'm on my phone's streaming right now, and it brings me back to when I first started with you guys, and the hellishness that came from it because of my phone, and just dropping, and finally Sanguine was like, "You have 10 drops a stream. After that, we don't let you back in." Memories.
The progress we've made.
Yeah. Skep.
Someone said that my mic isn't working, or it's
fine.
terrible.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's
there's a lot of
fine.
background noise, but that's okay.
It's just
I have
background noise. It's
all of my fans. Oh wait, I forgot a fan.
No. It's the phone clunking around, honey.
Yeah, it's the phone that's causing it. Skep,
so I should stop moving it.
Please?
Okay.
Yes.
Your fans are on the stream with you. Go ahead.
Can you swap Prospero and Adam, please?
Why?
He needs it back the way it was when it started.
Well, it's not that. It's because otherwise it was out of kilter, because it went boy girl boy girl boy, and when Prospero was.
You're talking about assigned sex at birth. We haven't gone into what people identify as.
Skep.
You are so British.
Skep. The second word is off.
The first rhymes with Tock.
See, this is why I like you, Prospero, because we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I was just waiting.
I'd be concerned.
It's hard not to like Prospero. If you don't like Prospero, there's something wrong with you.
That's probably.
Who is this Prospero person of which you speak?
I wonder how many people actually know who Prospero is.
Or Prospero.
Prospero.
Yeah, I've been saying Prospero for so long.
I know.
I know that it's wrong.
I swear to God.
I can't stop myself.
It's from Will. It's from Will.
Yes, you're right.
Crosby.
It's from the Tempest.
It's Frank and
I knew this. I might have brain damage and a bunch of issues and losing my mind, but I know who you are. I may not pronounce it correctly, but let me tell you something. I don't pronounce 95% of my words properly. I have a speech impediment I had before the accident. Imagine having a speech impediment after the accident.
This is true.
So is it enhanced?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Bionic speech impediment.
Harry, this is not a Mountain Dew I'm opening. It's a cherry Pepsi because my tummy needs it.
A cherry Pepsi. Good.
That sounds good, actually.
It's for my tummy.
Cherry Coke would be better.
I don't have a cherry Coke, though.
Coke.
That is so bad for you.
I actually heard something very interesting the other day, Skep. Somebody who, it wasn't Dramamine they were taking. It was, what is it, Bonine? Is that the other?
Yeah, one of the.
It's like Meclizine, I think.
Yeah, one of the anti-seasick medications.
Yeah, that's
they were on a cruise that was supposed to go to Bermuda, but Hurricane Lee interrupted it, so they sailed to the Bahamas instead, which meant that they were hit crossways with waves. As Lee,
how sick were they?
Oh, they were pretty damn sick. Yeah, now the funny thing is the side-to-side rocking.
Hate lateral C's. Fucking hate.
Yeah, but it's funny because it reminds me of a train on steroids. I have not gotten seasick on lateral. I've not gotten seasick on oncoming, like with whomp, whomp, bump kind of oncoming, or from the torsion machine that we were in.
If
the
you're hitting
Pacific.
big waves, ideally you want to aim the pointy part into the wave perpendicular.
Yeah, that took most of the cruise down though when we were coming back from Bermuda.
Really?
Yes, and I mean it was bad enough that the screws were coming out of the back. You know, that not coming out of the ship, but you could actually see them if you were aft. It was interesting.
Yeah.
We stood back there and looked over the rail and went, wee! You know, it was very trophy. But the Hawaii one was just every which way but loose.
So you had a beat right?
Cracked a big window on the ship because it was cross current, so it was choppy as hell. You didn't want to walk up stairs because the stair would come up and just slam into your foot. That kind of thing. You know, it was like a lot more. It was a lot easier to go down gangways than it was to go up them. But
so you had a beat ride on a cruise.
Nobody taught you how to climb a ladder underway.
Well, actually, I started sprinting, and then I on the way down I would just use my toes on the stairs and rest my arms on the rails.
The key is grab the rails and bend your knees.
Yeah. It's good. I was talking about interior staircases though in cruise ships.
Oh, okay.
You don't have that option. So I took to only using the external ones.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot easier and a lot less painful.
But I was just thinking,
didn't get seasick. But this individual, they took their bonine and it did not help. And their cabin steward suggested green apples and 7-Up.
Did that work?
Green apples and 7-Up.
And it had to be 7-Up, not Sprite. And it worked.
Really?
She was able to keep it down.
Interesting.
I've heard saltines and ginger ale before.
Yeah, because ginger is a sedative.
Anecdotal evidence does suggest that eating green apples can help with seasickness. They are high in pectin, which is a soluble fiber, and it makes a thick gel in your intestines. It slows down your digestion and tends to settle your stomach. They're also high in fructose, which is a sugar, disaccharide sugar. I think it's disaccharide, monosaccharide, which helps keep your energy levels up. It's monosaccharide, that's right. So humble green apples can be a great way of warding off that queasy feeling of seasickness. So there you go. Ginger can help. Not seeing anything on 7.
I know. And that may have been more of the
may have been his little embellishment.
Yes, and it also 7-Up has always seemed fizzier to me than Sprite. And I'm just wondering if you get a lot of air in your gut when you're constantly ill. That maybe that was more just for a good Ralphing belch.
When you're seasick, what should you do on board a ship? What is the one thing you should do on board a ship if you're seasick? And I've told this.
Try and puke over the side.
No. It's
wonder what happened to your life.
It's a place you should go. It's a place you should go. No.
The stern.
No.
Center line of the ship.
Center line midships.
Yeah.
You want to be in the exact center of that ship.
It moves the least.
And you will be surprised. I have taken people on board civilian cruises that I've been on. In one particular case, and I said, "Young lady, come with me." And as soon as we got midship, she started feeling better. It was my granddaughter, and it was a telling moment. It was really quite effective, and we just stayed there. We just stayed there, and she eventually felt good enough to come inside. We were out in the weather, because that does help.
Yes,
and she felt. Yeah, after 10 minutes, she felt good enough to get something to eat from the how they have all you can eat things constantly open.
You're such a good grandpa.
No, that's
it's interesting.
I'm just not evil.
I like being where I can see the horizon. And it's interesting because Kree.
If that horizon moves up and down a lot, you'll get sick. Your vestibular dysfunction that causes the seasickness. You won't get better standing at the stern, but out in the weather does help people. That definitely does
the fresh air is a help. I didn't have any problem on either.
And everybody's different.
Where a large number of people did. Yeah. About 60% of the people were ill coming back from Bermuda. And
oh, wow.
I don't know, including a fair number of the crew. And
by the way, crews of U.S. Navy ships do get sick.
Of course they do.
They have middle ears too.
Yeah.
If I ever got sick on a boat or a ship, I'd be heartbroken because.
Yeah, I would too. Kree can't
it'd be like
have his back facing the motion.
Can he ride backwards on a train?
That doesn't bother him. The motion of a train is generally side to side, but in the prow into the waves, he was having a bit of an issue.
So I was just wondering if
we switched seats, and I didn't have a problem, and he did. He was grateful. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. There was nobody at the midnight supper. They had
my parents.
Me and I were there.
My parents leave for their anniversary cruise on Friday.
Ooh, where are they going, if you can say?
They go I think it's the Virgin Islands. They're going around the They're going to the Mayan ruins.
Oh, okay. So they're going to Yucatan.
Yeah, they're it's they go every year.
Nice.
Except last year because
COVID.
You know how they went during COVID too. It's my mom's one not having to deal with. I have a lot of people who have to deal with a lot of what's going on, and it gets her away from work, and I quite enjoy it. I know that sounds mean, and there are other people. I mean, I live with a lot of people, and sometimes it's nice.
Nebraska was so good.
My trip, I think it could have been a trip to a dust field, and I would have enjoyed it because that time I had with my dad, and I had no responsibility. Well, I had responsibilities, but my responsibilities were being tended to.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually lost 5 pounds. I was so relaxed and not just tensed. And
you were getting in the pool, then you walked all around the fair, and
and the weight loss has continued because I haven't gotten so stressed. I needed me time, and I didn't know how badly I needed it. Well, me and Dad time, because my dad was there.
Well, yeah, but you had a lot of time to yourself.
To myself, because he was working, and it was...
You needed to decompress for a good while.
And I need to have done this years ago.
But
I know I go to Maine and stuff with my girlfriends, but it's
not the same.
just that, yeah.
And the daddy time was good for you.
Yeah. I don't care about how old I am. I am a daddy's girl.
God, that is so true, Harry.
These days are just Monday's ugly sister. Good morning. Yeah, that's
not wrong.
No, it isn't.
It isn't wrong.
No, and hump day's not much better. Little Friday, things are looking up. I liked Tuesdays though, because most of the time I worked, we bowled on Tuesdays. So there was something to do that evening socially, which was enjoyable. It just meant Wednesdays were kind of long because Tuesdays had gone late.
Yeah, well, I'd like to go bowling again.
So would I, but I imagine I'd probably damage something.
Oh, we could make it a Minions outing.
Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
Get together someplace and go bowling.
Although that actually would be pretty damn funny.
It would be pretty fun.
Hold on.
I score usually a 37.
I think
I put the bumpers up for you, babe.
In the last time that I hung out at a Minions meetup, when we, instead of going to the Chinese buffet as part of what Donkey wanted, we could have hit up a bowling lane, and yeah. So I don't see.
Why did you all do what one person wanted and not take a vote and do what everyone wanted?
Well, in all honesty, we were hungry, and we weren't even thinking of like going bowling or anything. Now that's an option, we'll keep
bowling alleys serve food.
Are you a serious bowler, Adam?
I like bowling.
Do you have your own ball? Do you have your own ball?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've never been in like a league or anything, but it was a thing that me and a bunch of my friends did a lot. It was one of those, hey, we're gonna go, even if we didn't get a lane, we just hang out the arcade, So.
Adam, I meant Harry. You know what I'm gonna ask you.
Oh.
You want a copy of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you would hang at the arcade?
Not like that.
Yeah, they the two games that sticks out for me that they had at the arcade that we'd always draw to was the Simpsons 4-player arcade, and they had a big screen, one of those like it was like a projection, but it displayed it on a big square screen, and it was playing Marvel versus Capcom, and yeah,
arcades for my kids are a special treat. It's like, all right, it's your time with mom and dad. You get to choose the activity, and that's when you get to go to the arcade. It's best not done with all siblings.
Oh.
That's disturbing, Harry.
Oh, now that I think about it too, this was the arcade at one part of town, and then a different one. There was
Harry.
There was Outrunners, and that was the best game to play. They didn't have too much arcade games there, but they had Outrunners. But yeah, bowling. Yeah, bowling's fun.
And it's also inexpensive, so you can do it as a family without, unlike the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
And Western Dave's took a kid there once. There's hair in my food, will never go again.
Ew.
I hold a grudge. Just like this little kid does.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's holding some sand.
Ha! Isn't that the gospel?
Nobody liked this one. I'm very sad.
I like it. I love
I
this.
like that.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful pun. It's excellent.
What's with all the butter memes?
I don't know.
Oh, I get. Send me that.
Is that?
I'm gonna send that to my kid.
Is that from Texas or Wisconsin?
I don't know.
Texas and Wisconsin state fairs do butter sculpting.
Dude, I saw no. I saw one of those at Springfield, Illinois State Fair.
I know it's not only at those. Oh. Those are where I've seen them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yum.
Butter.
You just take bread and rub it all over that cow. Warm bread right out of the oven, slice it, rub. What happened to the cow's teats? Well, I had worm rolls. There was a need.
I wonder what they do with all that butter afterwards.
Throw it away.
They have to.
Oh.
They have to throw it
so,
away.
I'm assuming you've all eaten at Texas Roadhouse.
Tragically, yes.
Nope.
I've eaten at Texas.
Well, I guess that would be.
I want to.
And
don't get your hopes up.
Don't get your hopes up.
Oh, okay. I don't want
especially if it's somebody's fucking birthday.
Yeah, definitely stay away from it.
Jesus Christ, that's the
food
is.
Oh, they don't do the songs, do they?
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh,
and
God,
shit.
it's really annoying too.
I mean, it is hokey as fuck.
Yeah, they've got their own flair they add to it.
Oh, it's awful.
Well,
it's like Coyote Ugly gone wrong.
Yeah.
What
on not great food. That's not great food.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's okay.
The butter. I was bringing up. The reason I brought it up was the honey butter.
Yeah.
Oh, you like the honey butter? Yeah. Yeah,
so
I remember the honey butter.
Easy to make.
Delicious. I'm assuming you put honey with butter.
Yeah, you do. You just get your beaters out and pour some honey in while you're whipping softened butter till you like the taste of it, and then you put it in a container and let it firm up again.
I'm gonna make myself honey butter.
You got to heat the honey too. That's the secret to getting it.
You need to heat the honey.
Yeah, just
you
just make sure it's warm. Just make sure it's warm.
Yeah, you want it to be.
And you want the butter.
Yeah,
you want the butter to be room temperature.
Yes, at least.
Or
you could technically soften both warm and soften together in the microwave. Careful, cover it. Do it on not full power for a very short period of time. Don't totally melt it, but you can stir it up, let it re-solidify, roll it. I mean, if you want it in pats, lay it out, squish it up in saran wrap, roll it up, twist the ends, and stick that fucker in the freezer.
There you go. That Aunt Jemima meme.
Compound butter.
That Aunt Jemima.
So you mean cling film?
That Aunt Jemima meme that you just had up, Harry. Before.
Yeah. Are we canceled?
No. I was going to say about that looks fine. Everybody looks like they're having a good time in that picture.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That is the black face of enthusiastic consent right there.
Yeah.
That's enthusiastic, yes.
That's Kareem Jean-Pierre on a bad hair day.
Oh my God.
It's Prospero. Will you write that down and just send it to me?
Sorry. What?
We've been your minions of the zoo.
I'll send you. I don't think anybody heard me.
Good.
Jenna, what I'll do is I'll okay. Okay. I don't have anything to write myself a note on. Will you send me a message right now, Jenna, on Discord, or is the minute we get off saying compound butters, how to make them?
I will do that immediately.
Okay.
Wait, that is Skep, not you. That's you.
Because it's pretty much the same for all compound butters. Kind of pretty much.
It's actually well worth making tarragon butter.
Yes.
Just keeping it in the freezer,
Mhm.
wrapped up
What's
in a roll, so you can
tarragon?
cut off wadges of it for steaks.
Yes.
Oh.
You could do it
yeah.
with garlic butter too.
Harry.
Yeah.
Could you write that down for me? The recipe?
Tarragon butter is space butter.
Yeah.
No, tarragon butter's delicious.
What do you mean it's space butter?
It's tarragon. Oh wow, that joke.
Tarragonian, yeah. It kind of sounds like
Oh.
I thought it was because it was weightless.
Tarragon.
See, when the terror is gone, there's no gravity. So
I love that so much.
That's my favorite.
Lying little shit with your bullshit shirt. Fuck you.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
I would,
that still makes me laugh. That still makes
I know. It's terrible though, isn't it?
It's a stupid fucking shirt. You don't surf or lying little shit with your bullshit shirt. Fuck you. I've been that guy. I have been that guy.
With that same pained expression, just trying not to say it out loud.
Oh,
That's great, honey.
All right. I think I'm.
Oh my goodness, aren't they adorable? They're doing the penguin waddle.
doing the lunch waddle.
The foie gras shuffle. Come here, my pretty little pate host.
Ducks are funny.
Yes, they are.
I love that. I love that eye expression on that evil can exist without a mental disorder.
Yeah, it's sociopathy. Is that really a mental disorder or just a complete lack of empathy?
Yeah, it's kind of a behavioral statement more than syndrome.
Yeah, because it's like you can't. To my knowledge, people don't know how to fix sociopaths.
Since time immemorial.
Yep.
Okay.
Isn't that from a Disney? Isn't that from a Mickey Mouse or? That's from a Disney thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's one of those old things back in history. People, yeah.
It might be. I mean, might be like two goofy characters.
King Tut.
Like
yeah. I think they're
goofy
walking like
dog
Egyptians.
characters. Yeah.
Okay, so I have
the poor Bangles.
Yeah, I know.
Opinion. I don't know how to put this. Okay, I have if a teacher showed up to school and blew a 2.48.
What?
I was afraid of where that was going too.
They fired her. I saw that.
But there was another one. Sorry, Spud.
Yeah, I was going to say a 2.48. I think
dead twice over.
Yeah, maybe not dead, but
0.248.
Yeah.
0.248. Hang on, no, they're turning up at school. It should be 0. Or I think it's 0.002 is the natural variance in the human body that it can detect.
Well, that was...
Yeah, and I mean, there's things like Listerine that have alcohol in them, but you're not drinking it, so yada yada. But yeah, 0.2.
So that was my question. I mean,
how drunk did she get the night before that she was still loaded that morning?
It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon when she blew the 2.48.
Holy shit.
0.248. Okay, then she's drinking on the job. I had a couple of those teachers.
Yeah, because
we were convinced that they were
0.08 illegal limit in most places.
0.08. But you can't.
Have you ever had to deal with these little bastards? Holy shit!
Yeah, well.
There was another teacher that blew it. She was under the limit. She was a whatever it is, 66.
Point,
Um,
point zero, point
Six.
0.066.
Yeah.
It's 0.08. So she's under the limit. So are they drinking? I mean, does somebody know why?
Well, she said she had a glass of wine the night before.
No.
Unless the glass of wine was a bottle.
Yeah. Even then, she should not. I mean, if this was in the afternoon.
Well, no, this woman, I think this woman was also the afternoon. So,
yeah, but I mean, if she's still got that much alcohol in her system, there's either something the matter with her liver, or that's not the case.
Well, the
alcohol may clear people's bodies at a different rate, but jumping Jehoshaphat, that's not normal.
And Skep, you saw the video with the first woman that blew a 248. She definitely is a functional alcoholic because she didn't seem.
She's high at first. She may have a drinking problem, you know.
Oh, yeah, and I think she needs rehab and all that kind of stuff. But you have to want to.
Right.
Yeah.
You can put somebody in rehab or AA, but unless they want to do it, they want to fix it.
Ask Robert Downey.
They won't.
Yeah, that's right.
His first trip through, he came out and he was still blaming his dad for his heroin addiction. Second time he went in, he got it right. He caught on. It was him, not his dad.
So
who are we talking about?
A big topic. That's a big topic.
Robert Downey Jr.
And addiction more generally.
And it is a huge topic.
Alcoholics typically, in my experience, don't tend to say this guy is an alcoholic. You know, they listen to someone say I am an alcoholic. You know, like I am an alcoholic. But you know that I decided that I wanted to stop drinking, and that's why I quit drinking 19 years ago.
Yeah,
you know, I did it through AA. I went through the program. I needed something to get my feet back on the ground. But
you wanted it though.
After a while, the reason that you stay sober is because you remember what drinking was like, and that was less good than now. That really is the rational walk out of alcoholism. After that, it's just fighting physical stuff. And the physical addiction part, it's bad, but it's the easiest part to deal with. I mean, if you can just sit there and wait, you'll eventually start feeling better. But the hard thing is the brain that keeps telling you you're well. There's nothing really wrong with you. It's okay to drink like this. You know, I'm not really getting loaded that often. You know, and that's the kind of thing that kind of suckers you in, and then pretty soon you're getting loaded every day, and it's a bad thing. So,
I wasn't dogging on AA or rehab or anything. I was just saying.
It's just when I hear somebody say somebody is an alcoholic, I say, well, that's something that individual has to determine for themselves. You can't say that guy's an alcoholic because you don't know if they're an alcoholic. You can't know what they know. Only they know enough about themselves to designate themselves that.
I wish you could have this conversation with somebody I knew back in the day.
Sure.
I do. I really do. Because once they took the cure, they ran around telling everybody else
that they had. Really? That surprises me.
Yeah,
those guys don't make it.
It actually surprised me too. Actually, one of his sponsees isn't sober any longer.
They have a name in AA. They're called evangelists, and they're considered obnoxious.
Yeah, obnoxious as hell. Yes, you are correct about that. Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
He's got the cure, and he's gonna help you.
Oh yeah, that's why I used the phrase "he's got the cure" after he got the cure. Yeah, it was like,
that's not how that works.
It's a fucking work in progress, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, even I, not going through the program, which he did, knew that.
Yeah, the biggest thing you have to do if you really want to quit drinking, the biggest thing you have to have is patience. That was the thing that I had to develop, was patience that both my life and my physical being would get better. I had to have faith that those two things were going to happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have hung out. I wouldn't have hung around. I mean, I really would have ended myself. I was in a bad way. 2004, and this charming bundle of confidence you see before you now was pretty much on his knees back in 2004, and it's helpful to remember that.
You're going to be at 20 years?
Oh, yeah. In April, it'll be 20 years.
In April, yeah.
I am so proud. I know this, but I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I know, because I have my uncles, and it's a...
Yeah,
you're never cured.
No, you're never cured.
It's a disease.
After a while, you stop thinking about it. If you're as blessed as I am in your cure, and you've gone and gotten interested in other things, and especially other people, really interested in other people, really, wanting to do something with your life, you can have a life, on top of the ruins. And I've been fortunate enough to have that. That's why I put so much stock in my friends. That's why they're so important to me. Is God, I wouldn't have made it without my friends. I would not have. You have to have somebody to talk to, and it's not just your friends in AA. You have to put together what is for you a normal life, a life that will be satisfying for you, with all the relationships and activities and things that anybody has to do in their life. The idea is to live a normal life, just to live it without alcohol, and I do it somewhat joyfully, because I remember how absolutely wretched I felt, and fortunately and I'm so happy about this, that feeling of revulsion of how bad I felt being drunk and being hungover has never left me.
Yeah, because the brain doesn't remember pain, but you worded it perfectly, the revulsion.
Yeah.
That pathetic creature that faced a mirror every morning.
The AM regrets.
Yeah.
Well, I think...
And the PM forgets.
Well, the way that I solved that was to simply keep a fifth of vodka on my bedside table, so I didn't have to get out of bed. I literally did this for years.
Without a bumper?
Yeah. And so I could get loaded as soon as I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
It chased the hangover away.
Yeah,
it really does. It really does help.
Did you function at that level?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I was really high functioning.
It's amazing what the human body can endure.
Because I'm thinking of your I can't think of what it's called. Your resume.
Oh, my resume.
And all the things you've done, and
yeah.
I'm just thinking, imagine what could have happened.
Well, you've got to remember,
I don't know,
Jenna, one thing about Skep is he's exceedingly intelligent. So on top
absolutely.
of, well, there's a gift. There's a gift to be had for faking it till you make it in high functioning alcoholism when you're exceedingly intelligent too.
Yeah, that's fake it till you crash.
Yeah,
that's basically what happened to me. And I really did crash. I crashed hard out of a job that had a significant amount of responsibility. I had
I'm not kidding. You should write a book.
Hard time making amends to the people I hurt when I crashed out. But I did do that. And that's one of the reasons I think I stayed sober, was I went around. I really did I did a 9th step. For those of you who are familiar with Alcoholics Anonymous, that's where you go and make amends to the people you've harmed in the course of your alcoholism. You need to do that. I used to
Isn't that number 9?
I used to joke when I first came in that for me this would be an 11-step program because there's no way I was doing a 9th step. No way I was doing a 9th step. My sponsor just laughed at me. And one thing led to another, and he wouldn't move off it. So I fired him as a sponsor. Almost went back out. But I got another sponsor. I finally ended up with a decent sponsor, and he explained to me the facts of life and communicated with me on a level I could at least appreciate what he had to say. Anyway, make a long story short, he said what I needed to hear. But you have to, if you're going to work that program, you got to work that program. If you believe in that program, you will not stay sober without working the program successfully. I promise you. I've seen it a zillion times. I've sponsored so many people, and been to so many meetings all over the country. All even around the world. This is they have AA in Thailand. Did you know that?
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yep. It's funny, but anyway, I didn't mean to turn this into me talking about
stale cookies.
I never do that.
Coffee and peculiar and really bad jokes in Thai.
Yeah,
who knew?
The coffee really is as bad as they say. It really is as bad. It's paint thinner. It's extremely strong. It's always double made with double filters, and it's there to alter, to give you a caffeine hit, to give you a glucose hit, and that's done with malice and forethought because glucose is your friend when you're undergoing opiate withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
Glucose is your friend. Do not get hypoglycemic. You'll get drunk.
Harry had to jump off.
Oh.
I need to soon. I have to.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, we've been going for 2 hours. I think this is probably a good time to cut it down. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to say quick before we go?
No, sir.
All right.
Actually, I think I wanted to just to read the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. So if you don't mind.
Okay.
Homework.
All right. Oh, you're not going to read it to us now, right?
Okay. No. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. That's a good deal. In that case, we are done for the evening. Thank you, chat, for coming out and listening to us. We do this.
I had something to say very quickly.
Oh my goodness! Is Spud Gunner still here?
Say it quickly. Say it quickly.
See, I have an addictive personality. That's why I don't drink or gamble anymore, because I very nearly ended up in the sort of 12-step.
Yeah, one of those 12-step programs.
God bless, dude.
Yeah, so
good for you.
Anything that I do, I tend to do hard, and if I can catch myself, I can stop myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I managed to do that with both drinking and gambling and other stuff as well, which I'm not going to mention for legal reasons.
Okay, thank you.
On advice of your attorney.
Yeah, I'm teasing. On
advice of your host.
Yeah.
On advice of everybody on the stream.
Let's go back to the Aunt Jemima meme so I can really do it up.
I've highlighted yeet and I'm about to click.
Yeah, bye.
Click but anyway, we're out of here, guys. Thank you for being
bye.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We'll do it again next week. Good night.
Love you, chat.
Love you, chat. Goodbye. Goodbye.